Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. Uh, it's time for FA Cup. It's time for the FA Cup tie. The surprise is Grealish is back in. To be honest, you know, I've not expected Jack Grealish to actually start. There's been no update on him. I know Pep said that Grealish needs to step up, and City are not going to wait for Grealish to get back in form and stuff. But apart from that, there's been no positive news on Jack Grealish, and suddenly he starts, which is actually a very big surprise. The lineup's interesting, or maybe some people would say not so interesting, but the three midfield players are what makes this lineup incredibly fascinating. If you see, he's picked Nunez, Kovacic, and De Bruyne. I mean, does this mean is there a De Bruyne Foden dilemma? Is there a De Bruyne Foden dilemma for Pep? Just give me a second. Yes. Yeah. So is Pep Guardiola facing a situation where he can play only one of De Bruyne and Foden? I mean, I know against Copenhagen he played Phil Foden on the left wing and and stuff. Not exactly on the left wing, but is done that, to be honest. But I honestly think that Rodri and Kovacic needs to play. It's increasingly becoming quite evident that you need a pivot with uh, you need a pivot with Rodri. It's Rodri, Ford, and De Bruyne. That's what he did. He did against Copenhagen, right? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work when you play your better teams. It's not gonna work when you play teams that are looking to hit you on the counter. So it's not actually gonna work. So is this I call it the Kevin De Bruyne dilemma. So if this is a big match, if this is Liverpool at Anfield, if this is the Champions League semi-final against a Real Madrid or a tough team, would you dare to play both Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden? I don't think. I don't think. I think in a big game he plays Rodri, Mateo Kovacic, and one of De Bruyne or Foden, and then you have Grealish on one wing and Bernardo Silva on the other wing, and it's Erling Haaland. I don't think Phil Foden starts a big Champions League game this season, a very big Champions League game. It will be interesting what he does at Anfield because I think only one of Foden and De Bruyne can play. Only one of Foden or De Bruyne can play. That's become so evident. I think Matthew Kovacic, especially with the performances given last time against Bournemouth, Kovacic played one of the best games. We should not for against Bournemouth. We should not forget that Matthew Kovacic is unpressable. He's in the top three, top four players in the world who can break the lines with a single pass. He's a ball carrier. With both Foden and De Bruyne, you don't get these things. Both of them are not ball carriers. So I call it the KDB dilemma for Pep. Do you play KDB or do you play Foden? That is the thing. Especially this season. Next season, you do not know. Maybe Pep might play KDB in a deeper role like Modric. Arush is here. Hello, bro. Hey, Arush, how are you doing? How are you doing, mate? Great to see you. Great to see you again on the stream. How are you doing, Arush? And I would like to ask you, what do you feel about the midfield three, Nunez, Kovacic, and De Bruyne? Let's imagine this midfield three with Rodri, Kovacic, and De Bruyne. Where do you play Foden, Arush? Where do you play Foden? Do not tell me on the wing because I do not think Foden is the best when he plays on the wing. It's a big dilemma for Pep. And I actually don't think it's wise to leave Rodri as a single pivot as well because Rodri we have seen Arsenal not against Arsenal. Against Arsenal he was out, but we have seen numerous times this season that Rodri as a single pivot has struggled because a lot of people have been telling that why Pep has played De Bruyne, David Silva in the past as two tens with Fernandinho behind. But I think what people don't remember is Fernandinho is a generational midfielder. Fernandinho can cover end to end. He can cover loads of ground. Rodri is like your Busquets. Rodri, Busquets, they cannot do what a Fernandinho does, what a Makalili did. So I do not think with Rodri alone you can play with Foden and De Bruyne. So that is not an option. Rodri as a single pivot, you're actually asking yourself to be killed. So Aris is not on the wing, not on the wing, Aris, but I do not think Pep has any other place to put him. To be honest, I think unless he's not playing De Bruyne. Arus says Foden should be played in the middle. The way I think Oscar could have started today. I mean, I was a bit disappointed not to see Oscar Bob. I maybe think he could have given rest to Bernardo Silva and started Oscar Bob, but I can understand he's probably preferring to start Oscar Bob on the left wing than on the right wing. And I think we can put it this way. Pep knows the importance of Jack Grealish, and I think Pep is desperate for Grealish to come back into the team. So I think he's opted to give Grealish more minutes. Or we never know. Oscar Bob might start against United. Just don't know. For me, honestly, Oscar Bob is ahead of the in the picking order of both Doku and Grealish. Oscar Bob has been our best left winger this season, at least for the kind of minutes he's played on the pitch. Erling Haaland needs to get back to scoring form. I know Haaland's gone through a terrible personal tragedy, but I can understand. But he needs to get back to the form, to his goal scoring best. But it's kind of interesting if you look at the lineup. I think let's another match has started, but let's for a moment look at it from the perspective of a big game. Ake starts. By the way, Gal Clichy today was asked in Monday Night Football by Jamie Carragher that who do you think is the best left back in the world? And he said Nathan Ake. He said Nathan Ake, which is very very interesting. So Nathan Ake starts for me in a big game. Diaz starts for me. Stone starts for me at centre back. Manuel Akanji starts for me at right back and not Kyle Walker, though that's debatable. I think Rodri, Kovacic. This is where it gets interesting. Foden slash De Bruyne, Grealish, Bernardo, Haaland. That's what is the starting 11 for me. That's what is the starting 11 that is needed if we need to go on and win the Premier League and the Champions League. Haru says today Pep can try something unusual, a new combination perhaps if he wants. I actually, I actually think Pep is trying to get our squad to uh, settle down this season into a certain pattern of playing. By February, March, City experiment in the first half and City in the second half settle down into a certain pattern of playing. I think Pep has not got that yet with us. That is the thing right now. But I'm just thinking what unusual patterns he can try. I do not know. Maybe he can try something with Nunez. Nunez making those late runs into the box. Manuel Akanji has been superb. He's given me 5 bonus points in FPL in the last 2 game weeks. That is wonderful by Manuel Akanji. Matthews Nunez making the run front. Maybe Arus, this is the unusual combination. Matthews Nunes does very well. That was fantastic play and City lead 1-0. That was super play from Matthews Nunes. That was everything about that goal was not about Haaland, but it was about Matthews Nunes. Wow, what a goal! What a goal from City. Matthews Nunes created it. That was wonderful play from City down the wing, down the left wing. Unusual combination, Arush. Unusual combination. Matthews Nunes making that run. He was unmarked. Matthews Nunes run from the deep. Nunes it is. Look at Manuel Akanji. I think Akanji's build up is great. He averaged 2 players, and then Matthews Nunes. Matthews Nunes has the sense to, you know, Matthews Nunes has the sense to play in Kevin De Bruyne to Haaland. That combination is just gonna haunt many a Premier League team. But for me, this goal is all about Manuel Akanji and Matthews Nunes. Wow, what a fantastic piece of play. 1-0. On a difficult night, Kenilworth Road is not easier. It is Matthews Nunes and Manuel Akanji as well. Arus, the build up from Akanji is just superb. The build up from Akanji was fantastic. I mean, looking at the way Akanji is playing, again this is another interesting thing. Don't know how you see it, Arus, because looking at the way Akanji is playing against Bournemouth, Akanji was excellent. Against Brentford, Akanji was the man of the match. Against Bournemouth, he was. I think he. People say Foden, but I would shade it. Akanji was close to man of the match. Here, Akanji started very well. He's been a rock. John Stones has been good, and you can't drop John Stones. Ruben Diaz is the leader. So who do you drop? So who do you drop? Who do you drop in the defense to accommodate Akanji? Ake has been the world's best left back. Akanji has been superb. He's been prime, he's been prime Baresi kind of stuff is doing. Stones you can't drop because he's the only one who can come into the midfield. Diaz is a leader. I think Walker doesn't play in big games for me. Walker is the most out of form centre back. Walker and Guardiola for me don't start many big games. Jackson is here. Jackson says, "Where are you watching, bro?" Yes, our Sony Live. Exactly, Sony Live. That is where I'm watching as well. Arush says Akanji is good, but he still needs to work. But I think Arush, I slightly maybe disagree on that. I think if you compare both, that was close, but Ake does very well there. That was such a close shave. Ake does very well there. Was it Alfie Doughty with the cross? I think Akanji has arrived, Arush. Akanji has arrived. I think Akanji's pace is underrated. I think. And last season, Akanji started against Bayern. He defended against people like Sane, Coman, and stuff. So, so I think Akanji has arrived. I think, and based on form as well, I think Walker doesn't deserve to start because I look at the Newcastle game. Whose mistake was it that we conceded two goals? Kyle Walker. It's on a single player, Kyle Walker. And then I think there are a couple of one or two more games. I think Crystal Palace was one, if I'm not wrong. It was the direct mistake of Kyle Walker that we conceded. Alfie Doughty, and that is excellent defending from Nathan Ake. That is superb defending. That is why he is world class. So Walker has been at least responsible for giving away four goals this season easily because he couldn't defend his one-on-ones, and that too it wasn't a difficult job. It wasn't that he faced Alan Saint Maxim on bloody steroids. It wasn't like that. He just he just showed all the players on the inside, which I don't understand why. I think Akanji is in better form than Kyle Walker this season. City are defending very well there. That is wonderful there from Kevin De Bruyne. Arus's Luton is keeping the pressure, but we almost broke there. We almost broke on the counter attack. Good defending from Mengi. We almost broke, but Erling Haaland looks to be much more chirpy. He looks to be much more in it. I know it was a personal family tragedy for Erling Haaland with his grandmother and stuff, so I can understand from where it is coming. But it's important for Erling Haaland to regain his goal scoring form. I think what differentiates us, Liverpool and Arsenal, is to a large extent the goal scoring and Erling Haaland. You could argue Liverpool have Salah, but Salah is not actually a striker, so you could. John Stones. John Stones does extremely well. Matthews Nunes. Matthews Nunes is bloody hell on fire. Matthews Nunes is bloody hell on fire. It was the wrong option to find Bernardo Silva. Nunes should have trusted it, gone to the byline and should have crossed it inside. Wrong option. Yes, Bernardo called for it. Maybe he called for it in Portuguese. That's why Bernardo got the cross back. Kevin De Bruyne, Nathan Ake. Ake's been magnificent. That block on a Luton player there when the Luton player was almost ready to score was very, very good. Stefan Ortega, that's a good pass. But Matthews Nunes has been very good. He's escaping the pressure, is driving us forward from that midfield, is just breaking the press. Alfie Dot is causing all sorts of trouble from the side of Kyle Walker. Luton are playing on the edge of our box. Arus's Walker this season is not that great as compared to last season. Akanji is doing good in all. It is just some minor improvements he needs. It's basically a loss of concentration, Arush. I think with Manuel Akanji, sometimes he takes things too easily. If you remember last season's Leeds match, I think it was the first match of Sam Allardyce in sort of April or May when we defeated Arsenal. I think it was a very next match. We were leading 2-0, 80th minute. Akanji does a silly mistake where he doesn't clear a header and Leeds go and score 2-1, and we had to endure a nervous last 10 minutes. I left the stream for 3 minutes as well, unable to bear the pressure that time last season. With Akanji, I think it's a bit of a loss of concentration. That is the thing. Because you look at this match, Arush, look at this match, and all of Luton's attacks have come down their left. And Kyle Walker has done nothing to prevent it. I know Alfie Doughty plays on the left for Luton, but Alfie Doughty is no Vinicius Jr., right? Kyle Walker has, his pace has not deteriorated, but his defensive sense has somehow deteriorated more than. And Kevin De Bruyne is through. Kevin De Bruyne is through here. Erling Haaland is arriving in the box. Erling Haaland, Erling get into the box. Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne is that was a late run into the box by Matthews Nunes. Nunes is making some great late runs here. Matthews Nunes is just growing and growing. It might not be so visible, but he's just growing and growing. Erling Haaland gets in there. Erling Haaland gets in there. He holds up the ball very well. Haaland leaves it. That was some exciting bit of play there. This match is not boring. It's not at all boring. It's super super exciting. Alfie Doughty on the left is just playing. Look at Kyle Walker is he's unsure of whether he should mark Alfie Doughty or he should mark the player who's coming inside. An experience for me, Kyle Walker is the best right back in the world. Maybe not with his performances, but with the class and all, with his abilities and all, I think he is currently the best right back in the world. And he should not be confused like that, whether to mark or whether to leave. He should not be confused like that. I'm sorry. Kyle Walker has deteriorated in his defensive positioning this season. Offensively, he's anyway trash. Offensively, Kyle Walker is just trash, but defensively as well, he's not done well. Erling Haaland does extremely well there. Erling Haaland's build-up play has improved so much. By the way, just a little bit of a Arus's Walker is going through a lot of things, hence I guess his performance is affected. That is true. That is true, Arush. But those lot of things are actually unwanted by. I mean, they have been brought about by Kyle Walker as well, right? All of the shit that is brought onto his life. It's not something that it's not a tragedy or something that has happened like with Erling Haaland or like with Aguero with the car accident those years ago, something like that. All of Kyle Walker's shit is because he has decided to do that shit. He has decided to do all of that thing with his girlfriend and all of those things. Kyle Walker. It's his shit. It's so I don't even feel sympathy for him. I don't even feel sympathy for him because it's not a tragedy. It's something he's brought on to himself. I personally think in a big Champions League game, if it's not a fast winger, then Akanji starts. With Kyle Walker, it's almost like there are certain games in the Champions League. I think Pep knows that without him you can't win. That is why I think he's kept him. I think Pep knew at the start of this season as well that Walker might not be the best or something of the offensive actions or things which he'll ask him to do. But there are certain matches like against Madrid, sometimes against Bayern, which he can't win without Walker. That's why he's captain. But anyway, Arush, who do you think? Who do you think will be the ideal replacement? Who do you think will be the ideal replacement for Kyle Walker? Because next season we are going into the market for right back. Yeah, Arush says I don't think that Walker's contract will be extended. No chance. That's a great ball, but you can defend it well. I don't think that Walker's contract will be extended. No chance. Next season maybe a surprise signing. Next season we have to get a right back, Arush. I don't think there's a chance. We have to get a right back. We have to get a right back. Who do you think? Who would you sign? Who do you think? Give me at least one or two names. Who do you think? Because I have a few people in mind, but who do you think will be the ideal replacement for Kyle Walker? Yeah, Grealish, good cross, but too close to the goalkeeper. Grealish needs to get back into his best form because we need Grealish. Because I've seen that Copenhagen game, and until Grealish was on the pitch, we had control. And once Grealish went and Doku came, there's no control. But people say, how do Real Madrid win with Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo? But the style Real Madrid plays, Madrid sit deep and hit on the counter most of the times. I think Doku is more suited to that style. In the Champions League, I don't see Doku starting over Jack Grealish. At Anfield, when Arsenal plays at the Etihad, I don't see Doku starting over Jack Grealish. Arush says, I think that Pep will sign a young player as right back. I think, Arush, I think I have two names. One is Jan Kuto. Jan Kuto is our player. He's on loan at Girona. I think he has the highest assist for a defender at Girona. Jan Kuto is very good in terms of crossing, in terms of offensive play, and a lot of things. His defensive capabilities, I'm still not sure. But if Jan Kuto can get into those Kyle Walker positions on the wing, I think his crosses are deadly. He's a deadly crosser of the ball. His crossing was once compared to Trent as well. His crossing is that good. Jan Kuto's crossing. So Jan Kuto is the one. But for me, the ready-made option is Jeremy Frimpong. The recovery pace of Jeremy Frimpong is insane. I think he can almost be close to Kyle Walker. And Jeremy Frimpong's crosses are very good. I think he scored double 10 goals or something in the Bundesliga for Bayer Leverkusen. So I think Frimpong for me would be the best option defensively as well as offensively. I think we will get one of those two players. Haaland does very well and Erling Haaland is through. Erling Haaland is through on goal and Erling Haaland scores. This is classic Erling Haaland. Wow. Erling Haaland makes the goal and Erling Haaland finishes it off. This is Erling Haaland on fire. What a goal by Erling Haaland. I would say in Hindi मजा आ गया आज Erling Haaland को देख के wow क्या रन था क्या फिनिश था wow. Wow, look at Stefan Ortega to Erling Haaland, lays it off, through ball from Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland goes through, scores. Wow, in the last few games, these are the kinds of finishes he's missed. Against Bournemouth, I think it was the same kind of finish. He's gone through and is missed. Haaland playing great today, Arush, yes. And and did you look at the combination? Kevin De Bruyne with two assists and Erling Haaland with two goals. I think it's magic. Whenever the assist is by Kevin De Bruyne, I think even the ball wants to go into the net. Wow, Erling Haaland has just truly turned it on today. Every striker, it doesn't matter whether it's a Clivert, whether it is, Pele or whoever it is, the right ball was to Jack Grealish here. Every, every striker needs confidence, and this match just might be the confidence which Erling Haaland needs. But what a goal and what a finish! I didn't comment that much on the first goal because even Erling Haaland on one leg would have finished that first goal because it was an open net. The first goal was about Nunez, but this goal, the finish was tough. The finish was tough. He was going a bit away from the goal and stuff. The finish was very tough, but Erling Haaland did absolutely well. Arush says Frimpong is on my mind too, but his contract is still 2028 or 29. That's why I think the chances are low. I think I think they'll offer him enough money. I think the thing is, if we can get Kyle Walker from Daniel Levy for 50 million or 60 million, I think you can deal with anybody. When dealing with Harry Kane, one of City's, he didn't wish to be named, but one of City's, executives in the transfer board said that dealing with Daniel Levy is like having blood in your piss. It's just so terrible. He directly said it. He didn't wish to be named, but he said it's like having piss in your blood. It's so terrible. So I think if we got Kyle Walker dealing with Daniel Levy, I think we can get Frimpong from Leverkusen. I think if you offer 60 million to Leverkusen, I think they'll let go of Frimpong. Because Frimpong knows with Bayer Leverkusen, he might have won the Bundesliga. Of course, it's 11 points, I would say one. He might have won the Bundesliga, but that won't happen every season. But with City, Frimpong will know every season you have a chance of making it to the semi-finals of the Champions League and having a genuine chance of winning it. Every season you're in contention for winning all the trophies, not just the Premier League. Frimpong will know he's at the stage of his career where 2 to 3 years under Pep could be the difference of him becoming a world class fullback like your Danny Alves and stuff, or becoming or being just few steps below world class. If Pep could make Joao Cancelo into one of the best left backs in the last 2 to 3 years before that this thing happened, then Pep can do anything with Frimpong. This is a great ball. Kevin De Bruyne is in. But the pass was a bit heavy. The classic duo of KDB and Erling Haaland. I think Phil Foden is starting on the wing against Manchester United. He might come in from the wing, but I think he's starting on the wing against Manchester United. Luton have tried to express themselves. They're playing well. It's just that City have been in the mood today. City are in the mood today. Could this be the turning point of a season? Could this be the turning point where City come alive? Because there are certain points where you feel that the team has come alive and you just kick on. I do not think we have seen that moment this season. Last season, the moment was against Spurs. 2-0 down at the Etihad half time. The title was almost gone. We lose that match. We are 12 points behind Arsenal. We come back and win it 4-2. That was a turning point last season. Leipzig was the turning point last season. 1-1 draw. People thought we could crash out. We smashed them 6-1 in the return leg. So I think this season is crying out for a turning point. This could be one. Grealish needs to find Erling Haaland. He's gone for the shot. Aru says this season is more exciting than 21-22. I mean, 21-22 was neck and neck us and Liverpool, Arus. And then last season was, I mean, I think a lot of people don't recognize, I think, Arus, but last season we did the impossible because the Arsenal were at one point, I think, 8 points above us. I think with a potential chance, they had a potential chance to go 11 points above us as well. From that stage, we went and got the Premier League trophy from Arsenal. So last season, people say Arsenal bottle job, but I think people don't praise the character needed by the chasers to keep the hope when they're 8 points behind. Mateo Kovacic there, look at it, he never loses the ball. 21-22 was the 21-22 was just Harish 21-22 was, you remember the penultimate game, West Ham game, where I think Bowen went and scored two first half goals. It was 2-0 half time. I think all of our defenders were injured. I think it was the time when Laporte was playing with an injury as well. Still, he was playing. Fernandino was playing as another centre back. Gundogan was holding. So it was a terrible time. We were down with injuries. West Ham were 2-0 up first half. And then we somehow made it 2-2. And then Mahrez misses a penalty. That was just I thought the league was gone then when we were 2-0 down and when Mahrez missed the penalty. Aston Villa 2-0 down again, 21-22. And at that time I think a lot of us thought at that time, destiny, Steven Gerrard, the manager, Philip Coutinho scoring the goal, wonderful by Nathan Ake. But we defied destiny. 21-22 season was just awesome. I just exploded once we won. Once we won, sure, all of City fans did. This is wonderful from City. This is wonderful. Erling Haaland is through again. This time he cannot score. This time he misses it. But I think the goalkeeper did well. He could have been a hat trick. That's what Arush. It could have been a hat trick. I think the goalkeeper came out well. To be honest, let's give the benefit of doubt to goalkeeper and not let's not blame Haaland. But this is classic Haaland, right? Two goals, two shots, two goals, like two touches in the box and two goals. Matthews Nunes running into the box. That would have been a classic. That would have been a classic goal. That would have been a classic goal. That would have been a classic goal. For me, Arus, my favorite season was the 18-19 season. January 3rd, 2019. January 3rd, 2019. Liverpool came to the Etihad, and if Liverpool would have won, they would go almost. I think they would almost go 10 points clear, and the title race was over. It was not just about the title race that season. That season, if Liverpool would have beaten us, they would have gone invincible. They would have crossed the Centurions mark. They would have completed the historic thing of Champions League in the Premier League double, and they might have won the FA Cup as well that season. So you don't know. That would have been an immortal season for Liverpool, 18-19, if you remember. It's just because of City winning that one game at the Etihad, January 3rd, 2019. It just changed the history of Liverpool, not just City. And that game was just I think that was one of the most you know sort of pressure games I've watched as a fan as well. The Champions League final was one, of course, but that 18-19 game I still can't forget. That was prime Liverpool. Sane, not Sane, I'm sorry, Mane, Firmino, Mohamed Salah, Fabinho was there, Virgil van Dijk was in his prime, Robertson, Trent. I mean, how did you even beat that? That was just superb. John Stones, 2 millimeters, 1 millimeter goal line clearance. Wow, what a game that was! 18-19 season. Arush says Nunez is playing better than the last game. He's improving constantly. I think one of the underrated traits of Nunez is his ability to make those runs late into the box. Gundogan had that. I'm not comparing Gundogan to Nunez here because Gundogan took 4 years under Pep to become the Gundogan, the world class Gundogan that we all know. So, and it's just 6 months of Matthews Nunez and is already making such progress. Late runs into the box, his ability to escape pressure. Nunez has certainly grown into the team. Luton are on the edge of our box. Alfie Doughty with the cross. Nathan. Nathan Ake's positioning was superb. Kandenya is here. Hey Kandenya, how are you doing? He says, this is Haaland's 7th start in 21 days. Good to see him scoring, but genuinely feel even Alvarez could have done the job today. I think Kandenya, more than the job, it was about giving Haaland the confidence. Strikers rely on confidence. It doesn't matter, you're a Perlo, you're a Clivert, or or your Robbie Fowler, who's one of the best finishers I've ever seen, Robbie Fowler, or Erling Haaland. It doesn't matter. Striker confidence. Erling Haaland goes through against Bournemouth, misses it. Erling Haaland misses potentially 3 to 4 chances against Chelsea, I think he's had some 20 touches against Chelsea inside the box and has not scored a single goal. So I think Pep knows if he want. That is a wonderful thing by Kevin De Bruyne. Erling Haaland. Erling, you should have finished it. Erling, you should have finished it. That was a hat trick, but the ball was just superb there. Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, Bernardo Silva. What a ball! And Erling Haaland should have finished it. So I think it's just striker confidence, and Pep knows without Erling Haaland and without his goal scoring prowess is not going to win anything this season. That is the truth. Counting assists, these two goals would have helped his confidence, but not worth playing him against a team in relegation battle in the fifth round of FA Cup, especially when City has UCL and crucial Liverpool match uh, next week. But then, how do you build his confidence? How do you build his confidence ahead of the United and Liverpool games? Because if you had him on the bench, then how do you give him the confidence of those goals going into that United Liverpool match, potentially Brighton and up to and Arsenal, Aston Villa this month is just where is the match where you could have given him confidence? Because the schedule is brutal. There is no match Pep can lose in the Premier League. So there was no other game. This was the game where you had to give him confidence, I think. Aru says, respect to Luton for still keeping the pressure and constantly playing near our box. Alfie Doughty for me has impressed. Alfie Doughty has impressed me a lot. I see a young, I don't know the age of Alfie Doughty, but I see a young Luca Dean in Alfie Doughty in the way he crosses inside the box. His deliveries are so good. Jackson says, "Nah, this game is as important as any other game." I mean, if Pep wanted to manage minutes, is already Jack try a dink. No, he didn't try a dink, Jack. But Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, can he reach it? I think Jackson, you're right. Every game is important, but it's also important to manage the minutes, like Kandanya said. But the only thing is, I think it's important. But over everything, I think confidence is important because I think it was Gary Neville who always said that when you are winning, you just don't feel the tiredness. It's that when results are not going your way, when what you're doing is not coming off, that is when you feel the tiredness. That is when you feel the tiredness at every aspect of your life, not just playing. So so I think for me, Erling Haaland would have felt more tiredness sitting on the bench, itching to come and score goals than he is if is playing. So I think confidence for a striker to sum it up. Coutinho says, honestly, don't feel Haaland doubts himself to have confidence issues. It's just a matter of time. Coutinho, I think it's not even doubting yourself, but strikers go through those phases. See, with a striker, it's not that you have time to think about what to do about your finish. Even when you're going one on one, Raheem Sterling, he thinks a lot about his finishes when he's going one on one and he misses it. But top strikers don't even see where the goalie is. They just go through and it's their instinct. They just know. They just know and they just put it. It's all It's all automated. It's all based on instincts. And I think when you're going through bad patch of form, those instincts, let yourself down. For example, there was a start against Chelsea. Why Haaland missed those chances? They compared other Haaland's finishes to those finishes at Chelsea, and they found that Haaland took those shots like a few seconds earlier. He was latching on to the shots earlier than compared to his previous finishes. He's taking his shots too early. So I think when you're out of form, those things can happen. You try to hit the ball hard instead of placing it into the corner. You try to, uh, take the shot first time, even though you have the time to take it around the keeper, for example. So I think that those are the confidence issues, not about the personality. I think because we know what kind of personality Haaland is. Aru says probably Pep will sub in Alvarez, Oscar around 65th minute. I just do not want Pep to bloody play Alvarez in the midfield position. I just don't want him because I think. I think we discussed this last time as well. There's a great video on YouTube which shows that Alvarez, all of the assists and goals of Alvarez have come when he's played as a shadow striker to Haaland, which means the distance between them is very near. Whenever he's played far away from Haaland in the midfield, City have either drew or lost those games. City have been very bad in all of those games. So that's an interesting stat for me. Arush says probably Pep will sub in Alvarez, Oscar around 65th minute. Yes, yes, he'll do. Jackson says hasn't he got enough rest for the season? That is also true, Jackson. That is also true because he's been out for 3 months. So I don't think roughly he's been out for 3 months. So I don't think don't think it's necessary for Erling Haaland to take a rest. Even that is also true. The confidence issues, he's already rested for the best of 2 months, 2.5 months. Coutinho says, feel the same about Walker, Akanji and Ake. Would have loved to see Rico Lewis and Sergio Gomez play. I don't think Coutinho, I think you lose the game if you play Rico Lewis and Sergio Gomez. I think you lose this game. Luton are not an easy side to play against at Kenilworth Road. We need to understand this is the ground where Liverpool drop points, Kenilworth Road. This is the ground where Luton led us against us 1-0 and we had to make a late comeback. Arsenal almost dropped points against them. Arsenal were 3-3. Arsenal were down twice or thrice against Luton and just managed it. Luton have done well at Kenilworth Road. Luton have been playing very well. So I think we lose if we play Rico Lewis and Sergio Gomez as the fullbacks. I think we lose. Jackson says, agree, bro. We can't start Alvarez in midfield. I think Matthews Nunes has got some problem. Again, Jackson. It's interesting. What is the best position for Julian Alvarez? I do not think he's a striker. I do not think he's an out and out striker. I think he's a centre forward. I think he's a Thomas Muller. I think I've said it a lot of times on the stream, but I think he is a Thomas Muller. But he is not a Thomas Muller who can drift into the midfield. He is a version of Thomas Muller who plays his best when he's just behind the striker. Because Alvarez is bloody playing in the midfield with all his striking instincts, which are just useless in those midfield positions. To be fair to Luton have done well. And by the way, continue there's nothing to rest Kyle Walker about because bloody Kyle Walker. I think Pep is ready to drop Kyle Walker. I think Walker is set to be dropped in the near future. Maybe not against United because United have Rashford playing on the left. So I think you need Kyle Walker there. But I think in the big games, Walker doesn't start. Off the ball, I think Grealish is taken down. It's Mateo Kovacic. Both Kovacic and Nunez have just been excellent. I think it's a foul off the ball. I think on Kevin De Bruyne. It's a foul of the ball. Luton are already making in some subs. I think the game would have been done if Erling Haaland would have scored those 2 goals. The last goal he missed is actually he should have scored it. That's what is instant. That's what is instant. Camden. Last season, Erling Haaland would have scored that. A rebound this season is hit straight into goalkeeper's hands. Wow, this is interesting. Jeremy Doku is coming on as well. Jack Grealish is going off again, and Jeremy Doku is coming on. What's happened to Jack Grealish again? What's the update on Jack Grealish? Because I don't have the commentary on, so I can't follow. But what's the update on Jack Grealish? Is it a precaution or is he injured again? Interesting is bought on Jeremy Doku. I would have bought on Oscar Bob. Arusis in the game versus United. Garnacho is the player to keep an eye on. Rashford is not much of a threat. But with Garnacho, I think Arus the best thing is Natanake will be marking Garnacho. And Natanake for me is the best left back in the world right now. And I've seen Natanake mark Salah out of the game. I've seen Natanake mark this season. I've seen Natanake mark all the best wingers is played against basically out of the game this season. So Natanake for me, I think I'm the least worried about that side. I know Garnacho is fantastic, but Natanake is marking him. So and I'm convinced that if Garnacho plays a striker, I don't think Garnacho is effective. Erling Haaland is through again. Erling Haaland is through. He has to finish. And what a finish that is! Is it offside? Is it offside? No, it's not offside. And Erling Haaland gets his hat trick. What a finish that is by Erling Haaland. That was one of the most difficult finishes. That angle, you just cannot finish from that angle unless you're a top goal striker. Wow, look at the finishing from Erling Haaland over there. Hat trick Haaland. Who's made the pass? Who's made the pass? You betcha who's made the pass. You betcha who's made the pass. Wow, that is such a great finish. Look at Erling Haaland. The angle was against him. He hits Kevin De Bruyne with a hat trick of assists and Erling Haaland with hat trick of goals. Wow. Again, it is KDB and Haaland, like Arush says. It is hat trick of assists and hat trick of goals. Wow. But is it offside? And for me, it's level. Is at least level. If not onside, is at least level. I know they'll take out the protractor compass and maybe draw all the lines. I don't know, but at least the finish deserves it to be given as a goal. The finish is just sublime. The finish is from footballing gods. That is such an underrated finish. Oh, they're checking the goal. They're checking the goal. Possible offside. They're checking the goal. I think 3-0 it's game set and match because at 2-0 you always have the doubt that the opposition could score. But for me, at least it was level. Yes, it's a goal. It's a goal. Erling Haaland gets his hat trick and KDB gets his hat trick of assists. Jackson says Grealish injured. Oh my God, what happened to Doku? Has dropped significantly. I hope Grealish injury is not serious again. I mean, we need Jack Grealish to control the tempo in Champions League games. We need Jack Grealish. I hope Grealish injury is not. It's 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 just precautionary. That is substituted. Let's wait for the update. And I think if Grealish is out, I think you play Oscar Bob. Jackson says, I'm actually surprised to see this performance from City without Rodri. Jackson, the reason for it is Mateo Kovacic. A lot of our City fans as well were telling in the first half of the season, why did City sign Kovacic? Kovacic is such a waste of space and all of those things. He's had time settling in. He's had his injury problems, but once he's settled in, look at what Kovacic is doing. He doesn't lose the ball at all. I think you can even press Rodri and get the ball off him. But I've seen instances where there are highlights on YouTube as well if you want. Just a masterclass in beating the press, and you see four players on Kovacic, and still Kovacic gets out with the ball. I think Kovacic is, people think Jorginho is one of the better midfielders, and Arsenal are doing well with him at the pivot, but Kovacic is levels above Jorginho. Kovacic is very good, doesn't lose the ball once. I think Kovacic has come back in such fantastic form. For me, I think Kovacic, we don't win the Bournemouth match without Kovacic. Kovacic is the one who puts Foden through Haaland through Haaland's deflected shot is hit in by Foden. Kovacic controlled that entire midfield against Bournemouth. Bournemouth are one of the best present teams in Premier League, and Kovacic, they couldn't press Kovacic. So for me, Kovacic needs to start. I don't know how Pep could do that. That is why I think Pep can only do that if he plays Foden on the wing. That was the dilemma I was actually talking about earlier. Arush says, I'm predicting 4-1 for today. But Arush, I think where are our clean sheets? Luton, yes. Luton attacking the box and on the spot. On the spot, Arush, I was thinking we'll keep a clean sheet, but what a goal that was by Luton. What a goal that was by Luton. No one can do anything. Probably the closing down. No one can do anything. Probably he should have been closed down better. No clean sheet again. But it's a wonder goal. It's exactly in the top corner. It's exactly in the top right corner. It's just a wonder goal. It's just a wonder goal. I think maybe you could have got out to him quick, but other than that, I think there's no way. It's just a wonder goal. So no clean sheet again. I just wanted to tell Bournemouth clean sheet, Brentford clean sheet, Bournemouth clean sheet. I think we'll make KDB hat trick of assists, Haaland hat trick of goals. We might make a hat trick of clean sheets. I thought, but probably not. Jackson says Kovacic is a great player, no doubt. Fans tend to forget that he's also a new player in a new system, and also fans tend to forget that playing midfield in a Pep Guardiola system is it's just so difficult. Fans tend to forget their Calvin Phillips, who was very good generally for England and for Leeds, could not even adapt to the system. Fans forget that people like Fernando Regis, I think we got him from Shakhtar Donetsk, could not adapt under Pep. Rodri took an year to adapt under Pep, and with that, Kovacic is almost at the ground running. To be honest, if I take out his injury time and all, injury time out and all, Luton's played well here. The spirited display has been very good. But one thing, Jackson, I think why Pep signed Kovacic is, like I said, there is no other player like him in escaping the press. And I think what Pep Guardiola has realized is, look at Luton. When Luton are pressing us, what Pep Guardiola has realized is, gone are the days when teams will park the bus against City. Yes, teams are still parking, but generally you see there's an increase in the number of teams who want to come and engage with us. So I think that is why they say Pep is ahead of everyone. Teams are starting to engage with us, and Pep actually knew he needed a player who could break the press, play through the press. And I think Kovacic was that player, and Chelsea uh, gave him to us on a cheap, I would say, player of that quality. Because how many players in the world are there who could play through the press, who could engage in the press? Erling Haaland looks to go through again, but that's a foul by the goalkeeper, and it's a free kick for City. That's a clear foul. He just taken Erling Haaland and thrown him away. I mean, let me just think. Who are the other players who have a style of playing like Matthew Kovacic, who are unpressable, who can break the press? Luka Modric is one. Kovacic is one. Luka Modric is one. Jude Bellingham is not press resistant. He can't play through the press, even though he makes passes fast. So I think Luka Modric, Kovacic, Bernardo Silva is another one who's press resistant. There are very few players around the world who are actually press resistant under high pressure. Kevin De Bruyne had to strike it, I think. Kyle Walker. Oh, for a moment I thought Kyle Walker could strike it. That's a good pass in by Bernardo Silva. Matthews Nunes. Jackson says great strike, but Stefan should have tried to stop that shot. And I thought Kova was bought as a backup of Rodri. I actually think Jackson, the shot was so. I think Stefan Ortega was on this side on his near post. His weight was on this side, and that shot was almost in the far corner, top right corner. I think that was unstoppable. Even if you had two goalkeepers, I think it would have been difficult for someone to stop it. But good shot, great strike, and Jackson. I actually, to be fair, didn't think he was a backup to Rodri because we already had Calvin Phillips who was a backup to Rodri, and everyone thought that Phillips would work out because Phillips didn't want to go in the summer, and Phillips, and Calvin Phillips decided to stay and learn, and everyone thought that this is typical. Rodri took 1 year, Phillips is taking 1 year. From the next year, he'll do well. That was the idea in the at the end of this 23 season transfer window. But Phillips didn't work out, so I think now it's seeming he is a backup to Rodri. I think even if even if Calvin Phillips didn't go, even if Gundogan stayed, I still think we would have bought on Kovacic. Because if you look at the timing, when Kovacic was bought on, Gundogan hadn't still decided to leave. The contract negotiations were on. Kovacic was almost the signing was almost completed even before the Champions League final. There were rumors from David Ornstein. I think even in April there were rumors from journalists like David Ornstein and the Athletic that City are in talks with Kovacic and City want to sign Kovacic. So I think Mateo Kovacic would have come regardless of who went and who did not go. I do not think Kovacic is a backup to Rodri. I think Kovacic is in was bought in order for Pep to implement his style of playing through the press because the only reason was I think Pep realized more teams will now engage with City playing through the press and he needed someone of Kovacic's ilk to counter that. Arush says, Jackson, even if he tried, it wasn't possible. As a goalkeeper myself, I support him. Many a times the goalkeepers know already if it's a goal or not. Wow, Arush, I didn't know that you were a goalkeeper. Wow. What are your strengths, Arush? Do you like to play out from the back, or do you excel in shot stopping, or what is it? What is your major strength, and what is the area you're working on? And goalkeeping, that is very good that you're a goalkeeper. Arush says Ortega isn't to blame in Norwich City's defense. It was good play by Luton. Exactly, Arush. I just think the only thing is maybe someone could have closed him down. Maybe Bernardo Silva could have been quicker on him. But then again, it's an FA Cup tie or 2-0 up. Why do you want to, play be so much intense and suddenly pull something? I think in another game, in a Champions League game, I don't think you see City giving so much space for someone to strike from that distance. Because just imagine someone like a Jude Bellingham, Joshua Kimmich, from that distance allowed to strike with such freedom. I do not think that will be allowed. It's just that the nature of the game, that's why so much space was given. Jackson says usually players show glimpses in games in their first year, but Calvin didn't show anything. I kinda knew that Calvin will not work for us. I think Pep already knew that Calvin wouldn't work. There were reports actually coming on Jackson that after the first week itself, Pep knew that Calvin Phillips was not the right signing. They made a mistake. They made the wrong signing. With Calvin Phillips, it reminds me actually of Eliquim Mangala. When Pep came in, everyone thought, I mean, Mangala was signed during the Pellegrini era, but when Pep came in, uh, Pep in his first week itself, he identified that Mangala would not fit the system, but still Mangala decided to stay on for a year and work on his stuff, and he couldn't make it and he left. I think it's the same situation that happened with Calvin Phillips. The reason why Calvin Phillips didn't work, what a journalist close to what the sources close to Pep says that Pep saw Calvin Phillips in training unable to take the ball under pressure and turn. And I think that is such a vital part of what Rodri does, what Kovacic does, what Bernardo Silva does, right? Taking the ball of your centre backs under pressure from two people, turning with the ball and then progressing the play. Pep told that Calvin Phillips was not able to do that. I mean, sources close to Pep told that Calvin Phillips was not able to do that. That is the reason why Calvin Phillips under pressure tended to give the ball away. That is the reason why Phillips didn't work for us. Jackson says, I think Ortega should have positioned himself in a uh, in a better position. I still think Jackson, even if Ortega was in a better position, I mean, right in the middle of the goal, I think the best position would be right in the middle of the goal. Still he would not have reached it. I think for the only way of saving that is that you're in that far corner and then it's it. I also think there was a slight deflection of the post, so I think that was pretty much unsavable. But yeah, good game from City in the first half. A very good game. The unsung heroes. I mean, Erling Haaland hat trick. Erling Haaland hat trick. Kevin De Bruyne hat trick of assists. We can see in the stats, but I think the unsung heroes of this tie are John Stones, Mateo Kovacic, Nathan Ake, Matthews Nunez. I think these four players have been exceptionally good. Especially Kovacic and Nunez have been fantastic in the midfield, right? They have been superb. RSS, we expect this kind of play from City. Exactly, this is City for me. I think in the last 1 or 2 months, this is one of the best games we have played. Honestly, the Jack Grealish injury is the only disappointment, and I was also disappointed that he's bought on Jeremy Doku instead of Oscar Bob. That's another disappointing thing. By the way, there is news that I mean everybody knows that Real Madrid have almost Mbappe and Real Madrid is almost close to getting done. It just needed to be official. So there's news that PSG might go in for Bernardo Silva. News is that PSG have identified two high-profile targets. One of them is Bernardo Silva. Second could be Rashford. I'm not sure why he's a high-profile target. He's not even fit to play in an under-23 team, Rashford. But Bernardo Silva is a high profile target on PSG's this thing, and Bernardo Silva's release clause is 50 million pounds. So, who do you guys think could be the best replacement for Bernardo Silva? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Who do you guys think is the best replacement for Bernardo Silva if he leaves? RSS PSG is gonna go Rafael Leao. Then I think it's Rafael Leao and Bernardo Silva. I think Arush because the sources are telling there are two players for sure, and yeah, Rafael Leao is possible. Rafael Leao is also I've heard it. It's possible, but Bernardo Silva. There has been rumors of Bernardo Silva as well because of the release clause. He's having a 50 million pound release clause, which is nothing for a player of Bernardo's quality. Who do you think are the possible replacements available? Jackson says Paqueta. Yes, Paqueta is there. I think Paqueta is one of. I think there are. Aru says replacement for Silva would be Paqueta. Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Lucas Paqueta. Even I feel Lucas Paqueta. A lot of people believe that. I mean, when City were ready to pay 80 million for Lucas Paqueta, a lot of people were telling. City fans were telling that Paqueta, why Lucas Paqueta is not the finished article? What is there? What is so special with Lucas Paqueta? A few people were telling me instead of 80 million pounds for Paqueta, we could have just spent 10 million pounds more on Declan Rice and all. But for me, I think Lucas Paqueta is the pressing demon. After Bernardo, outside of Bernardo Silva, I think Lucas Paqueta is the best presser of the ball. He is resistant to press and is the best presser of the ball. And his through balls are also very good. I think Lucas Paqueta could be an excellent pivot option to Rodri as well. Rodri, Paqueta, Kevin De Bruyne or Paqueta can play on the right wing as well. And another option could be Barella, Nicola Barella from Inter Milan. Barella is said to be an engine. Barella is said to be a dynamo, but I'm not sure about the offensive qualities of Barella. To be honest, I think. Barella is more of a defensive kind of midfielder, I think, than anything else. So I was not sure of Barella. And apart from these two, I do not think there's another like-to-like replacement for Bernardo Silva there. A few people in our community were suggesting Conor Gallagher, but Conor Gallagher, I think for me, Conor Gallagher is a donkey because the only thing he knows is running around and pressing people. That's it. Zero creativity, zero vision, nothing. Maybe his shot is good, but Conor Gallagher is a donkey. Apart from his high energy, I do not think Conor Gallagher brings anything to the table. Jackson says Paqueta is good in tight spaces, has great vision, good passing range, can arrive in the box and press as well. He's a pressing demon, Jackson. I mean, before Lucas Paqueta went to West Ham in Lyon, I think this was 2 years ago. There was a stat that was doing the rounds. Lucas Paqueta along was having the highest number of chances created, XA. The assess equivalent of XG. He had the highest number of chances created in entire Europe. Second was Kevin De Bruyne on that list. I was like, who the hell is he? And then I looked him up. We had rumors that year, 2 years back, with City as well linking to Paqueta, and then nothing happened. I think going to West Ham due to the relegation, this thing he had to play in a more defensive midfield role, like how Southside played. This season is being given a bit more offensive option. I mean offensive role, but I think people have not seen the real quality of Lucas Paqueta in playing through balls, in his vision, his strikes, his shot taking ability, his pressing, everything. I think Lucas Paqueta is the perfect option. Jackson says Barella is also good, but I don't think Inter will sell him. Jackson, even if Inter sells him, I think he hasn't got he hasn't got the offensive vision needed to play in a Pep Guardiola team, needed to play in that role, and also I think Pep is looking for a player who can play as a pivot next to Rodri, that Kovacic role, and also is looking for someone who could play on the right wing like a Bernardo Silva. So I think I do not think can play on the right wing. So I think with Barella, you're almost limited to where you can play him. But with Lucas Paqueta, I think you can play him as a pivot, you can play him as a cam, you can play him as a false nine, you can play him on the left wing, on the left wing, you can play him on the right wing. I think with Paqueta, I can play him anywhere across the attacking positions. It's interesting. Football Trick says, I would personally like to have Brahim Diaz from Real Madrid. That right midfield role or attacking midfield role of Bernardo is similar position of KDB as well. Brahim Diaz is doing extremely well. But again, football critics, I think it's been 3, 4, 5 years since Brahim Diaz left, and then he's developed into what he is. So I do not think we have done badly without Brahim Diaz, to be honest. I think, and also there's no space in the team for that kind of a role, that right midfield role. And also, I think Brahim Diaz is not unpressable. He doesn't have the work rate of Bernardo Silva. I do not think Brahim Diaz can play the role of Bernardo Silva, to be honest. Jackson says Conor Gallagher. No Sane fan would when consider him. He's a donkey. Jackson is a donkey. He's a donkey. That's it. He just runs around. No City fan would consider him. No Saint fan would consider him. That is true. He's just a donkey. I just misread Saint with Sane. Either way, I do not want Conor Gallagher near my side. He's an absolute prick as well, I think, Conor Gallagher. Don't like his attitude as well. JSK says, I missed the first half. Well, JSK, good news for you. Stefan Ortega, your goalkeeper is starting. Your goalkeeper, Stefan Ortega, is starting. Football Creek says, we might bring back Sane because I think Bayern are selling players. They'll not sell Sane. Football Creeks. And also, I think we have moved past Leroy Sane. I think we have moved past having those kind of wingers, and also I think we have got Savio. So I do not think I think we have moved past having left-footed wingers on the left wing and right-footed wingers on the right wing. Because nowadays, if you see, it's always Grealish and Doku who are predominantly right-footers on the left wing, and left footers like your Bernardo Silva and sort of those people on the right wing. So I think we have gone past those Sunny Sterling days. That's why we got Savio as well, who is will play on the right. Mahrez played on the right, so I do not think we are going in for Sunny. Pep is thriving more control now over the attacking ethos, so we are not going for Sunny now. Football Greek says, I would love to have Mazruki from Bayern as proper Walker replacement. Also can play as left back. Mazruki, I've seen Mazruki a bit, but I don't know. I haven't seen him much to comment actually. How is his defensive awareness, Mazruki? Because I've seen his crossing is good, and that's it I know of him. I've seen a bit of him when Bayern played Leverkusen, that's it. JSK says, I only want Kimmich from Bayern. Not happening, JSK, not happening because Thomas Tuchel is such a prick, when it comes to City. He always makes the wrong decisions at the wrong time when it comes to City. He is bloody leaving Bayern. So a new manager will come and Kimmich will stay, of course. Bayern will somehow convince him. So I do not think Kimmich is coming. Football Greek says, how about Inter attacking midfield? That Turkish guy, Shalanov, right? Shalanov is the one from Inter Milan, that Turkish guy. I think we have a lot of players who could play in that attacking midfield position, to be honest. We have Phil Foden, we have Oscar Bob, who is actually an attacking midfielder. There's no space, that's why Pep is playing him in the right wing. That's almost a good attack from City, but Luton stop it. So attacking midfield, I think there is absolutely no space. I mean, if there is that much space on attacking midfield, you might as well play Jack Grealish there. There is absolutely no space. We signed Paqueta next season, and that's another story. When he can play in attacking midfield, and Shalano doesn't give you the defensive work rate. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly, Shalano. Yeah. Aru says Danny Olmo could also be an option for Bernardo Silva. True, Danny Olmo could be an option. Danny Olmo could be an option, but with Danny Olmo, I do not think Danny Olmo has. With Danny Olmo again, my question is the work rate. Does he have an engine like Bernardo Silva? Can he take the balls from? Can he take the ball from the centre backs on the half turn? Because sometimes Bernardo comes from his right wing position as well to help teams in the middle. Bournemouth is an example. He drifted into the midfield sometimes to help out Rodri when Bournemouth were pressing well. So for me with Danny Olmo, the only question is work rate. His work rate. I do not think he's exactly the like to like replacement of Bernardo Silva. His work rate, taking the ball under pressure and stuff. That is excellent there. Look at the hold up play from Erling Haaland. Just the heavy touch. I think that was from John Stones. Jackson says we should think before signing Bayern players. It's very difficult to suddenly cope to PL intensity, especially with older players like Kimmich. I think it could be an exception in terms of Kimmich, I think, Jackson, because Kimmich for me is 29 and he is. I think with Kimmich, it's almost like Andrea Pirlo. It's almost like he dictates play from the deep. And I think when you dictate play from the deep, I do not think that intensity and physicality they don't matter that much. It's not like Kimmich is playing in the crowded area of midfield. So, but with Kimmich, the only advantage is I think when Stones doesn't play, Kimmich could play that centre back midfield role. Coming into the midfield because around Europe, I can maybe apart from John Stones, I think I can only see Joshua Kimmich doing that thing. Maybe Declan Rice could do that thing as well, but Arsenal are not gonna sell him. So I think Kimmich is the only one who could do that John Stones role. I think John Stones, play the ball out wide. Johnny, play the ball out wide. This is excellent from John Stones. Nunez, chance for Matthews Nunez, didn't finish it well. Aru says that we are forgetting that we have Claudio Echeverri. He would be great for attack as well as yeah. Right, Arus, right, Arus. It just went off my mind, right? so sorry, it just went off my mind. We are discussing attacking midfield, and yeah, we have Claudio Aisha. Very true, true, true. Just went off my mind. I'm very sorry for that. Just went off my mind. Yes. Very true. Claudio Aisha would be perfect for that attacking midfield role. A lot of people telling uh, Florian Wirtz as well, but I do not think we sign Florian Wirtz, especially with Phil Foden being there. Phil and Florian Wirtz would play the same positions then. So I don't think we are signing Florian Wirtz. I think Claudio Echeverri, and I actually think Pepsi is Claudio Echeverri as I would not say like to like replacement for Kevin De Bruyne, but as someone who could provide that creativity and play those through balls. Jackson says Florian Wirtz is being constantly linked. I know that it is difficult deal, and as you said, we don't need an attacking midfielder. Jackson, I'd be very angry if he signed Florian Wirtz. I'm a big fan of Florian Wirtz, and I still believe he could be a De Bruyne replacement. But seeing Foden play, I think if you see Florian Wirtz and Foden play, it almost becomes a situation like a Dybala and Messi. Why Dybala couldn't flourish? Because he would occupy the same positions. His style of play was same to Messi. So I think both are left-footed. Both Florian Wirtz and Foden would tend to go and occupy the same positions. So I think it would be an injustice to Phil Foden. And then you throw in Claudio Echeverri over there. That would just be an injustice to Phil Foden. That would just be, us breaking the belief that Phil Foden had kept on us, being here gladly accepting his bench roles when he could have gone and started at other clubs. No Florian Wirtz. I'd be very angry if he signed Wirtz. I'm sorry. Football tricks is, yeah, he can play center midfield, pivot also at wings, similar to Paqueta. We should have gone after James Ward-Prowse in the summer. There was a joke, football critics. The joke was if City signed James Ward-Prowse, City would be winning pretty much every match. We could go invincible. The reason they said is tell Jack Grealish to, you know, take a foul because Jack Grealish is fouled a lot, and then James Ward-Prowse will take those free kicks, and we would pretty much win every match. I think that's true in a way. You add James Ward-Prowse to our set piece. Uh, you just imagine James Ward-Prowse taking our corners and set pieces. We get so many corners. We get 5-6 corners every match. And you look at the height in our team. I think that is a poor bit of defending there. Wow, match has turned. Guys, match has turned. It's 3-2. Luton are on the comeback. Luton are on the comeback. That was bad defending by us. That is true. That is true. The match has turned. And I think it's Kyle Walker. It's Kyle Walker who is responsible for it. It's Kyle Walker who's responsible for it. The match has turned. Kovacic as well. I was just praising him, and no, it wasn't Kyle Walker to be honest. I think mistake by Kovacic. Played a blind pass. I was just praising him, and what is this Clark? Who is this Clark? He is just striking. That was a good ball by Ross Barkley. And who is this Clark? He's just putting in some big strikes. Football Trade says this is the reason I wanted Grimaldo as left back. So much better in left back, left midfield, and left wing role. Football Tricks Grimaldo doesn't offer the defensive cover that Natanake does. You lose a lot defensively if Grimaldo comes on. Not Grimaldo. I do not think we win Champions League with Grimaldo, to be honest, because he doesn't have the defensive prowess. JSK says, seriously question why we don't go after La Masia players. They are probably the best graduates all over the world. I think one of the reasons is they tend to want to go back to Barcelona after developing here. Eric Garcia is a big example. Kovacic, it's Kevin De Bruyne with the ball. Ah, cannot do anything. Jackson says Ishavari would do some internship in Girona for a few years. I think Ishavari would come straight back into the team, Jackson. I think Ishavari would come straight into City. I mean, he doesn't start straight, but he would at least come into the 15 on the bench. I do not think we loan him out because if you watch him play, his intelligence and things, I think a player either should be physical or a player should have great footballing brain in order to survive the physicality of the Premier League, for example. And I think Ishavari has the physicality to be sorry, Ishavari has the football brain to be honest. Arus Ortega should have played a long ball. Maybe I think Arush's good thought and foresight, but I think I don't blame Ortega here. I blame Mateo Kovacic here. I think Mateo Kovacic played a stupid back pass if you observe in that sequence. Mateo Kovacic should have been more careful there because I think the instruction from Pep is if options are available, play to those options. Options are not available, play a long ball. This is an excellent run from Kevin De Bruyne. He needs to finish it, and Erling Haaland scores the fourth. Erling Haaland scores the fourth. Erling Haaland scores the fourth, and it's fourth assist for Kevin De Bruyne. What is this? Will Kevin De Bruyne bloody give 5 assists in a single night? Kevin De Bruyne on a single night has given more assists when compared to Anthony over 2 years. Anthony over 2 years has less assists than Kevin De Bruyne on a single night. Wow. Again, Manuel Akanji with a great through ball. Manuel Akanji with a fantastic ball. It's not offside. Haaland was behind the ball and Erling Haaland 4 goals. Kevin De Bruyne 4 assists. Wow, the assist king. I call him the emperor to the throne of assists. King Kevin. We call him the King Kevin. Here we call him King Kevin. King Kevin is back. Wow, what a goal. I mean, what a phase of play, I would say. Football critics says, can we try for Pedri? No, no football critics, no Pedri. We are actually generating a lot of Pedris in our academy. Yeah, I mean, you could think it's a bit disrespectful to Pedri, but we are generating a lot of Pedri kind of a players. The through ball was from Akanji. Through ball was it from Walker Jackson? Because I actually thought the through ball was from Akanji. Maybe I should see the replay then. Because I thought it was Akanji who made the pass. I think it was Akanji who broke the lines. Because I mean I didn't see the player keenly, but the way that through ball was played, that was how generally Akanji breaks the lines. That reminded me a little of the Inter game, Champions League final when Akanji played the pass forward and then Bernardo Rodri strikes the deflection thing. So that that reminded me of Akanji. Akanji's pass forward. I think it was Akanji. So football kicks, like I said, there are so many Pedris in our academy now. James McAtee, I think, is on an equal level to Pedri in terms of skill set. Oscar Bob is there, and Oscar Bob is there. Cole Palmer was there, though he went away. So a lot of people. I think Wright, I don't remember his surname, but Wright is another player in our under 18s who's very good. Erling, and Erling Haaland scores his fifth. Five for Haaland. Five in one night. Wow. Wow. We are gonna crush Man U. We are not gonna just crush Man U. We are gonna dispose them off in a huge garbage truck and send it back to Manchester, saving their ticket money. That's what we are gonna do to Manchester United. But who gave the assist? Is it again Kevin? No, it's not Kevin. It's Bernardo this time. It's Bernardo. It's Bernardo this time. But it was straight at the goalkeeper. But you look at the power of the strike. If the goalkeeper tried to defend it more, it would have taken the goalkeeper into the net as well. They would have given 2 goals to Erling Haaland for that. Goal to the goalie. That would have been a right description. But 5 goals for Erling Haaland. Wow. Jessica says this is the performance that was really needed before the run of dead. What a performance. Jessica says only player I'll take from current Barca starting 11 is Lamine Yamal. Uh, Lamine Yamal as well. I don't think Lamine Yamal is matured enough, to start in a Pep team. This is his first season, so I rate Savio higher than Lamine Yamal. The reason is, you know, a lot of teams will now study Lamine Yamal, the way he does those movements, and they'll double up on him from next season. What will he do? The only skill I see Yamal having is cutting inside, and Yamal's finishing is also it's not a finished article. So I would not even take Yamal. The only player, if you ask me, from Barcelona is I would take Gundogan back. Other than that, no player even starts for our team. Maybe Araujo. Maybe Araujo, the centre back, is the only other player because he is one of the best 1v1s in the world. And this is a great ball. Nathan Ake into the box now. Nathan Ake into the box now. Ah, City are running right here away from Luton. We need to score. I think we'll score 6 or 7, and we'll send a message to the Rags before the derby. Arrow says 5 for Haaland is back. We're on a crush Manu. Yamal is just having so much pressure on his shoulders. But Arush, I always think that Yamal is doing well and stuff, but I always think that your second season, especially when you're a young player who's broken through, or when you come to a league and lick it up, I think your second season is very, very important, because then the scouts will have, not the scouts, but the analysts will have their eyes on you. They'll try to, mark you out of the game and all of those things. So that is why second season is so difficult generally. By the way, I'm sure that through ball for Haaland's fourth goal was from Manuel Akanji. There's no way in a million years Kyle Walker plays that. What a through ball that was from Manuel Akanji. Breaking the lines. Do not concede another goal to Luton. Do not. That is good defending again from Akanji. Akanji has been tremendous. That's a corner, I think. Ross Barkley. Akanji has been very good. The combination is actually, for me, this combination, okay, we've conceded 2 goals, but it's not the mistake of any of the centre backs. So this combination of Akanji and John Stones has actually looked more solid for me than Ruben Diaz and John Stones, or Diaz and Akanji. For me, Diaz is going through a bad patch of form. I know he's rested Diaz for the derby, but I think I would probably play Akanji and Stones over Diaz, and a combination of one of the other centre back maybe. But 5 goals for Erling Haaland. Wow. Can he score a sixth? What is the record? Are they telling something on the commentary of on the record of the highest goal scored by a player in a single match? Can Haaland score the sixth? That's good defending from Jeremy Doku. And City get the ball back. Stefan Ortega. By the way, I think a lot of people are forgetting we even have Maxima Perone to come back. He's on loan at Las Palmas. So Maxima Perone, people say Maxima Perone is the next Frankie de Jong. So Kevin De Bruyne attempted a shot, but he can't. Erling! Erling Haaland almost was about to pull the trigger on his sixth goal for the day. Arush says Diaz keeps the defensive line organized and together. He is great support. And another thing, Arush, is maybe if Diaz was there, those 2 goals would not have gone in, because Diaz, a lot of times, the blocks that Ruben Diaz makes is just phenomenal, right? In the Brentford game as well, he made a great block. Bayern Munich last season when it was 0-0 at the Etihad, he made a great block of Jamal Musiala. think in the champion against Real Madrid, he made some great blocks. So I think with Ruben Diaz, one of the things is his he blocks very well. His blocks are just insane. His blocks, his tackling, his leadership qualities. It's just that he makes the defensive line calm. Because with Akanji and Stones, it could sometimes seem that both are actually aggressive centre backs who like to play the ball forward and break the lines. But with Diaz, he brings that calm and stuff. That's great goalkeeping from Stefan Ortega. That is wonderful from Stefan Ortega. Block, block, block. Wonderful from Stefan Ortega. Again, great save from Stefan Ortega. I think it was offside, maybe. JSK says, why, by the way, why Guardiola is not starting Rico Lewis? I maybe think Guardiola feels he would need Matthews Nunes more in the Champions League games and stuff than Rico Lewis, especially due to his physicality. I think that is the reason. Otherwise, Rico Lewis should have started in the midfield today, if not at right back. I think it could easily have been Kovacic, Rico Lewis, and Kevin De Bruyne. That was a great header for Luton. This game is just. If Luton score the third again, the game will come alive. That's again, Stephen Ortega is just on fire. He's just making so many good saves. JSK is playing better than Walker this season. But JSK, I actually think Pep has at this time of the season, Pep has two things in mind. Who are the players who I will be utilizing in big Champions League games or further? Him to see out a game and stuff. And I think he has Nunez and Walker. Both are on the list. And with Rico Lewis, I think we must not forget, he's still 18, 19. Foden took up till the age of what, 22 or something. This season he's a regular, so 23. So I think Rico Lewis has at least 1 or 2 years more of development still to go before he starts regularly. Because even when Foden was in good form, Pep would not start him regularly in the last 2, 3 years. City are playing one-touch football here. Matthews Nunes, his runs, his press breaking runs have been superb. Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Kyle Walker, Mateo Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, Manuel Akanji comes forward with the ball. Nathan Ake, Manuel Akanji. Arush says, how much space are we given to Luton attackers? I think the thing is, Arush, we are playing a highline and Luton are engaging with us. So I think it's going both ways. We are getting space and Luton are also, and we are conceding space as well. I think I think both the goals, Arush, we have conceded are not because of the space that we have conceded, right? It's not been because of a ball over the top and a counter. If that happened, I would be worried. I would be worried about the defense, the defensive line, and all. Both of the goals are, one is a wonder strike, and the second one is the mistake of Kovacic, the mistake of your defensive midfielder who made a blind pass. So, so, so I think we've dealt with the space that we were given to Luton very well, actually. JSK says, and let's talk about Julian Alvarez and what his role will be. That's a big mystery, JSK. That's a big mystery. That's a big mystery. I'm thinking the role of Julian Alvarez will be a shadow striker. Julian Alvarez's best role for me is a 4-4-1-1 with Alvarez just playing behind Erling Haaland as a shadow striker. But then in the 4-4-1-1, in the four in the midfield, you would say Rodri and then Kevin De Bruyne, and then you need to play Foden on one wing and Bernardo on the other wing. But one of the things with 4-4-1-1 is you can just play one pivot. That is the problem. That is a big problem. So I do not know what Pep Guardiola will Pep Guardiola go for a 3-3-5-2 or something like that. Pep Guardiola tried a 3-5-2 when with Aguero and Jesus. I think 2016-17 season when we bought Benjamin Mendy, the Centurion season before Mendy was injured. Nathan, that is wonderful header by Manuel Akanji. Erling Haaland as well. Kevin De Bruyne with the ball and Kevin De Bruyne just loses it. But Haaland's hold-up play has been fantastic this season. I think Pep might in the future try a 3-5-2, but I think this summer's transfer window will actually tell you a lot about what Pep wants to do. Because 3-5-2 would mean we would get wing backs and not full backs. I think it is all set for us to play a three-man defense at the back because we have five defenders, five main defenders. So playing three at the back will not be a problem. If we buy wing backs this transfer window, it means we're transitioning to a system of two strikers. Football tricks is Haaland decided to come back to his goal scoring form just before the United game. Bro has some serious personal grudge against Manchester United. He of course has football freaks. He of course has Roy Keane, Alfie Haaland. Roy Keane and Alfie Haaland. How can he forget? It's grudge that is running through the veins of the family, the veins of the Haaland family. The grudge against United. How can he forget? Harris says, well, got to go. Boards on ahead. Hope Haaland scores one more today. Bye. Yeah, it was good being with you all. See you on the derby. It was great having you here as well, Arish. And all the best with your board exams and hope you perform very well. And yeah, do join us again for the derby match. It will be great fun. And hopefully Erling Haaland will repeat the same scoring numbers against the Rags as well. Bye, Arush. There's a little bit discomfort for Jeremy Doku there. But again, like if you guys observe, uh, since, till the time Jack Grealish was here, the control was there. But once Jeremy Doku came on, we are lacking a bit of a control. Not Jeremy Doku's mistake, but I don't know why it seems that whenever Grealish goes off, Copenhagen game was like that. This game was like that. Somehow there is a lack of a bit of a control. That is well played. Bernardo Silva comes in the middle to take the ball and we are through Luton's press. Manuel Akanji. Mateo Kovacic. That was a very good strike by Jeremy Doku. Look at Erling Haaland's acceleration over there. This is wonderful from Haaland. JSK says Walker. JSK it just pisses us off so much, right? When Kyle Walker goes into so much space and then he just oh! Wow! 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 What a goal from Mateo Kovacic! What a strike from Mateo Kovacic! Mateo Kovacic just what a strike! Everyone's laughing. Mateo Kovacic! Wow! Wow! What a goal that is from Mateo Kovacic! Long range strike. What a time! Mateo Kovacic just decided to come back into form. There is no way Pep Guardiola is dropping Mateo Kovacic. Look at the build up and look at where Kovacic picks up the ball. Wow. What a strike. What a strike. And that to the middle of the goal. People will say goalkeeper should have done better, but you can't. The power on the strike and the height on the strike. I do not think the goalkeeper could have done more there. Maybe could have saved it, I don't know, but again, who cares? Great goal by Mateo Kovacic. Wow. What a time Kovacic is coming back to form. Arsenal fans are thinking that they're building up goal difference on us. One game like this and the goal difference will be straight back. We are just 4-5 goals away from them. It's not much. I think Pep is gonna actually leave Erling Haaland for the entirety of the game, to be honest. Football Creek says, I heard we are targeting Demarco if true we are switching 3-5-2. Federico Demarco is wonderful football Creek. He's like the perfect he's like the perfect he's like the perfect player. Federico Demarco's defensive abilities are also very good and his attacking abilities are also very good. Federico Demarco is excellent. Can Federico Demarco play on both the flanks? Football tricks, because if I'm not wrong, he plays in the left. He plays as a left wing back, right, for Inter. If I'm not wrong, but Federico Di Marco's crossing, his defensive ability, Federico Di Marco is very good. I just don't think Inter will sell him, to be honest. He's a left wing back, right? Football freaks, do let me know if I'm wrong. Well, one game like this versus Arsenal would be more fun. That is true. At the Etihad, a game like this with Erling Haaland holding off the defenders and De Bruyne going through like it happened last time at the Etihad. That would be great fun. I would like us to do 10 here, honestly. Football critics, I'm not scared of Pool at Anfield. I'm a little bit worried about Arsenal. This is interesting. Rico Lewis is coming on. JSK, Rico Lewis is coming on. Oscar Bob is coming on. Julian Alvarez is coming on. Let us guess who will go off. Erling Haaland goes off for Julian Alvarez. Kyle Walker goes off for Rico Lewis. And Bernardo Silva goes off for Oscar Bob. Wonderful match by Erling Haaland. Haaland going off 5 goals to announce his return. To announce his return from a very sad tragedy in his family, in Haaland's family. So 5 goals. Interesting. Nathan Ake is going off. Rico Lewis is coming on. Away from home, such a performance. Luton away is not at all an easy place to go. Bernardo is going off as well. So Rico Lewis, it's interesting. Okay, Sergio Gomez is also coming on. So we're making 4 subs, not 3. But football critics, again, had we not dropped points against Chelsea, then I think a draw at Anfield, we would have had the option of either drawing against Arsenal or draw at Anfield. I honestly think we need to win every match from now until April the 3rd when we face Aston Villa. I think our situation in the table after April the 3rd when we face Aston Villa can actually tell us what we can expect out of this season, to be honest. Football Critic says, yes, similarities to Theo, more good at defensive, but I haven't seen played at right back. And offensive as well, Football Critics, offensively as well. Federico Di Marco is very good. Arriving into the box, his crosses into the box. Federico Di Marco is the perfect Pep Guardiola left wing back, to be honest. JSK says, next season we can't continue with Walker. JSK, you've been a bit liberal with Kyle Walker. I think even this season we can't continue with Kyle Walker. I've just had enough of Kyle Walker. Enough of Kyle Walker's set. Uh, Charging down the right wing. having all the time in the world to cross and then putting in some shit crosses. Football fixes, but if there is a player we should go after, he is Reece James from Chelsea. Let him get one more bad season in Chelsea. Eventually, let him will sell him in the summer. But with Reece James, again, football tricks. We have already had Benjamin Mendy at left. I do not want another Benjamin Mendy at right back because Reece James is very injury prone. Reece James is extremely injury prone. I do not think Pep Guardiola will want to spend that 50-60 million fullback on Reece James and suffer playing Manuel Akanji at right back always, just like the situation we had by playing Delph at left back due to Mendy's injury situation. Uh, Jeremy Doku into the box and Doku score! For a moment, I thought when he stuck it, I think Doku scored there. That is wonderful from Jeremy Doku. That is wonderful from Jeremy Doku, to be honest. Cutting inside, and that is exceptional wing play. That is wonderful wing play. I think if you leave Jeremy Doku one on one, then you're dead. He's almost unplayable. Sorry for that. Football Freak says, don't worry, he is ready. Jan Kuto, Pep has him in his plans. With Jan Kuto, my only thing is his defensive this thing and his recovery pace. I maybe would prefer Jeremy Frimpong over Jan Kuto. But again, he has good pace. I think the only thing I'm not sure is does he have the pace of a Kyle Walker or does he have good recovery pace? Because Frimpong has almost equal levels of pace to Kyle Walker, to be honest. Kyle Walker involved in the build up, Kyle Walker coming inside. Manuel Akanji, Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic just played excellent in that CDM role this match. Jeremy Doku. That is wonderful from Jeremy Doku there. JSK says James won't play more than 5 matches in a year. JSK, you're very optimistic. 5 matches is a lot for Reece James. If he plays 5 matches, Pep would be very happy. I do not think even if he plays even 2 matches due to the intensity of the training and what Pep will ask him to do. JSK says he's even worse than Mendy. Already got 5 injuries this season. That is true. But again, Reece James, what a player. It's unfortunate that he's having so many injuries. But again, Reece James, a fit Reece James without injury problems in a Pep Guardiola system, it would be something else. His balls into the box, his vision, his defensive, this thing. Reece James is an absolute powerhouse. Reece James is something else, to be honest. Ball given back to Luton Town player. Again, Rico Lewis with a mistake there. Good that nothing happened. Jackson says, what will happen with Sergio Gomez? Jackson, I think the best position for Sergio Gomez is uh, left wing. Sergio Gomez went to the under 23 World Cup, the under 23 Euros, I think it was. I think last season or so, and he won the Golden Boot there. So I think the best position for Sergio Gomez is that left wing position. I think is actually playing there. If you see in this match, is actually taking up that positions. So Sergio Gomez for me, he is not a fullback. He is a left winger for me. Left winger or left attacking mid, those are his positions. His crossing, he's. I mean, you take Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden out. I think he's one of the best crossers in the City team. His crossing is so good. Sergio Gomez, the set piece delivery, his crossing, it's very very good. His set pieces are also very good. So for me, Gomez is on the left wing. I do not see a future for Sergio Gomez as a left back because he's defensively not adept. Football kicks is, well, to be fair, Jan Kuto versus Madrid is disaster if we want to go toe to toe with them next season. We need good defenders. Again, I think football kicks, it depends on the style of play as well. Remember against Bayern, we were dealing with Coman and Sané and we did not have Walker for that match. What did we do? Our both the fullbacks stayed back. That's it. They just stayed back. That's all. So I think you can. I mean, you can face Vinicius Junior by playing Akanji at right back. You don't need a Walker. The only thing is, in that scenario, your fullback should not go ahead. That's all. They should stay deep as well. Jeremy Doku, Rico Lewis, sorry, Oscar Bob, and that was almost a great ball from Oscar Bob. The work rate from Oscar Bob is fantastic over there, and Manuel Akanji, Matthews Nunez, Mateo Kovacic. Interesting is left De Bruyne on Oscar Bob. He's playing Oscar Bob as an attacking midfielder. This is interesting. In a way, I think Oscar Bob is more suited to playing attacking midfield than Phil Foden. Rico Lewis, John Stones. Football critics is, how about Hakimi? Again, we're not getting Hakimi. I think football critics. PSG, there is no way they're going to sell both Mbappe and Hakimi in the same transfer window. Hakimi is the star. But again, with Hakimi, it's a powerhouse. I think Hakimi is the it's like an injury-free Reece James. I think Hakimi is powerful, very good defensively. His pace is even more than Walker. His pace, strength, power. I think Hakimi is as close to Walker as you'll get. But defensively, but offensively, Hakimi is 100 times better than Walker. Hakimi can go inside with the ball, go on the outside. Hakimi is crossing. Hakimi is just fantastic. The thing is, we are not going to get him. I think the realistic options are Frimpong and Jan Kuto for me. Jeremy Doku does extremely well, and referee has played advantage over there. But I think City want to score one more goal. Oscar Bob loses it. I think Kevin De Bruyne would like to come on the score sheet as well. 4 assists and a goal. Wow, what a game De Bruyne has had, and what a game Erling Haaland has had, and what a game Kovacic has had, capping it all away with a goal. Erling Haaland and Phil Foden are discussing something. Haaland is telling Phil, sorry, Phil, you were not able to join the action tonight. Good defending by Kyle Walker over there. Harris has just checked the score, and Kovacic scored. the, that is like a collector's item, Arush, because Kovacic only, I think Kovacic has just scored 2 times in the last 2 3 years. He only scores great, fantastic goals. That strike was very good from Kovacic, although I thought the goalkeeper should have maybe saved it. But again, what a game for Haaland, what a game for Kevin De Bruyne, and what a game for Mateo Kovacic as well. Wow. What a return to form. Is this the time when we are going to kick on? Is this the time when our engine, when our gears have been engaged and our engine has started revving. But Arush, I think one thing is with this performance, I think here there are some selection headaches for Pep as well. But Kevin De Bruyne is carrying the ball now. Kevin De Bruyne, Sergio Gomez, sorry, Mateo Kovacic. Arush says, I missed the goal. I told you in the last match that he will score. Now he does. It would be fantastic, Arush, if he scores against the Racks, if he scores against United. That would just be superb, Mateo Kovacic. That is wonderful from Julian Alvarez. Ah, good shot of his weaker foot. Again, Alvarez takes the ball in the penalty area. Ah, it's a corner for City. He's just winding the time down now, but Mateo Kovacic, it's just a collector's item. He just scores worldies. I wish to see the same score line. This is an iconic score line. 6-1 Manchester United 2012 11-12 when Sir Alex Ferguson was there. Same score line. I wish to see it repeated again against Manchester United. Rico Lewis. And I think the referee has not even decided to add a single minute of extra time. He just wanted to put Luton out of their misery, but wonderful play from many players, I would say, not just Haaland and not just Kevin De Bruyne. I think Kovacic, Matthews Nunez, Manuel Akanji, John Stones. I think apart from Kyle Walker, everyone had a fantastic game. Bernardo Silva was excellent taking the ball of the centre backs. Luton's press was very good. I think except Kyle Walker, everyone had a wonderful game. Now I think there are some selection headaches to Pep Guardiola. What do you do with the midfield? Because Kovacic is in fantastic form against Bournemouth. Now here he's been excellent. You can't drop him. Can't drop Rodri. So Rodri, Kovacic. Then I guess then it needs to be De Bruyne in the center, Foden on one wing, Bernardo on another wing, and Haaland. Then what happens to Julian Alvarez? Question marks. What happens to Doku? Question marks. What happens to Grealish when he's fit? Question marks. So Pep Guardiola has a selection headache. We as fans have a bit of a dilemma in what could be the selection, what could be the best lineup for Pep Guardiola and stuff. So great City kicking into gear right at the time in the Champions peak, right right at right when the moment arrives. I think this could be our moment. Our moment was the month of March, and right when the moment arrived, we picked, and I think that Bournemouth win was that's why so much important. Just imagine going into that game drawing to Bournemouth, because uh, I think people here will know Ines Unal header. All of us here, I think JSK was there, JSK was there. We Gotham was there. I think we actually thought that Arish was there. We actually thought that Ines Unal header went in against Bournemouth. That was so close. The I mean, if that header went in, then that perception of our season would have changed. The feeling in the camp would have been different. But heading into March, knowing that there are 4 games, I think Pep will tell the squad the same thing. United, Liverpool at Anfield, Brighton at MX, and Arsenal at home, Villa at home. 5 games. Pep will tell everyone it's not bloody 12 games. 5 games. 5 games stand between you and destiny. 5 games stand between you and being immortal in history as as the team who has won 4 Premier Leagues back to back. 5 games. Pep will tell the team about these 5 games. I think if we do well in these 5 games, I think we are very much through a very tricky phase. Jackson says the fourth goal through ball was by Walker. Was it by Walker? I didn't see. I never thought Walker was actually capable of that through ball. It is good to hear because the moment the through ball was played, I just thought it, Akanji, and then I didn't see the replay well as well. So I thought it was Akanji. I never even thought Walker could have played that through ball. But anyway, I think Akanji was also very good breaking up play. Akanji's passing forward is so underrated. I think he just broke up play many times through the press. I think even the first goal as well. I think first or second. I don't remember. Akanji had a part. I think it was first goal where Akanji broke the lines with his pass from deep. Again, what a defender we have signed in Akanji, 25 million pounds. So it's interesting. The season starting now. The season started with Brentford. Sorry, with Brentford when we were 1-0 down. To come back from 1-0 down away from home, Phil Foden masterclass. I think that is where our season really started. And then Brentford at the Etihad, we struggled. Bournemouth, we struggled. That 1-0 down, 1-0 down. Oh, sorry, 1-0, finishing the games 1-0, 1-0. It just, solidified that confidence in us that yes, we can keep clean sheets and defend the 1-0 leads. And then this Luton game announced to everybody that yes, we are back. Swashbuckling City is back. So wonderful game again. And thanks a lot everyone. Thanks a lot everyone for joining me. Thanks a lot Arush, Jackson, Football Creeks, JSK, and Camdenia. Thanks a lot everyone for joining me here, and it was fantastic having you on the discussion. It was a wonderful discussion. Thoroughly enjoyed the match. Thoroughly enjoyed watching the match with you all. I hope even you all enjoyed it. You all enjoyed the watch along. See you all guys again. Take care. Meet you for the derby against Manchester United. Let us reaffirm that United is again blue. It has always been blue from the past decade or even before that. Let us reaffirm it again and let us hoist the flag again. Let us crash the rags again like this. Let us crash United again like this.